This is a battle in the Aggony Flash Tournament number 2. Aggony Duck versus Aggony Panda Warrior. Kingdom of Charlemagne versus the Emirate of Cordoba. And once again, Panda Warrior is... he's being a bit innovative with his armies in Charlemagne, and it's really nice to see that, because it shows that different kinds of army setups are viable. So let's go over his Cordoban army first. He has 2 Andalusian skirmishers, 1 on each side. Then he has a total of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spear units. Now take note, there is no melee infantry on the field for Panda Warrior. Then he has a total of, let's see, Berber Raiders. He has a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 Berber Raiders. Then he has Andalusian cavalry, 3 of these Andalusian cavalry, together with his Umayyad Guard cavalry. So, a spear skirmish build for Panda Warrior. The Kingdom of Charlemagne, bringing a very nice and balanced army. Frankish spears on the flanks. Armored swords in the center, 4 of those. Some more Frankish spears here. They're armored spears, actually. Then we have Frankish cav. Very nice cav unit. I thought I saw... yeah, I saw a cav unit over here. Frankish horsemen over here, hidden in the forest. And on the flanks we have some Schola Knights and Paladin Guards. Up front, Levy Archers. Let's see, 4 Levy Archers up front. So this is a very nice and balanced army from the Franks. A bit of heavy cav, a bit of heavy infantry, some spears, some skirmishers. Just a bit of everything. Whereas this army for Panda Warrior is a super weird army. Now, what this army is going to be able to do is it's going to be exceptionally effective at killing enemy cavalry. And going up against the Franks, that's really what you need to do. The Franks have... The infantry of the Franks is not the best. It's very defensive infantry. But these heavy Frankish cavalry, they are dangerous units. So just not wanting to compete with the sword mainline of the Franks, Panda Warrior is opting instead for a spear army. The Berber Warriors have some nice armor. Their melee attack is on the low side, being a spear unit. Their melee defense is not great. There's nothing great about them, really, other than their armor and their cav killing capabilities. So the skirmishing is starting, firing through the forest here at these Andalusian skirmishers. The Andalusian skirmishers are pulling back. Berber Ginites going wide on the flanks here. And the Andalusian archers are better than the Levy archers. Now using flaming shot. I'm sure that was meant for some cavalry units over here. So if the Levy archers were able to trade for an extended period of time against the Andalusians, that would be a good trade for the Franks. But it seems like, yeah, some of these units are on a slight elevation in terrain. That might help them. Certainly here there's a small elevation. Both being very, very patient here. Not in any rush to engage. Duck using the time to move up on the flanks with his cavalry, using his spears as a screen, together with the Levy archers. So the Genites cannot go in here without taking any fire. On the other hand, it would be very easy to remove this archer, and then the Genites have free reign of the Schola Knights and the Frankish cav. On the other hand, though, it's entirely impossible for Panda Warrior to push the center because of his spear line. And I think Duck knows that. Duck knows that Panda Warriors is going for the long game here. On the other hand, though, it's going to be very difficult for Duck to push the center, because Duck doesn't have really good offensive infantry. So he might engage the spear units with his swords, but he's not going to kill them outright, and that would potentially allow the Andalusian cav to deliver a decisive blow to the swords. Frankish spears running about a bit, and yeah, indeed, Panda Warrior is just pulling back his lines, being very patient, getting some shots off on these units. Any kind of damage before the main engagement starts is very important. These units could go shield spear wall, and they would be shielded very well from the missiles. Let's see if these guys are in wall. No, they are not in wall. They do have it. The Andalusian archers focusing fire on the levy archers, and the Andalusian skirmishers even throwing javelins at this levy archer. A bit of a strange choice there, but maybe just to push them back. This is where they want to use their javs in the face of the Frankish cav. And once again, this is more like a proper battle, with both generals probing, trying to find weaknesses in the enemy army, trying to get the better of the skirmishing, not really wanting to commit to an all-out assault, and that was what was lacking in Attila. Like the pace of the battle was just way too quick. The skirmishers were a meat shield, then you would have shock infantry, shock cav, just rushing in to seal the deal. Now this actually gives you time to think, not just click around. I think, yeah, Panda does have a slight terrain advantage here. He does have the forest cover. There's also some forest cover here for these levy archers. They're not getting that many kills. But skirmishing at extreme range isn't really effective, especially not against units in loose formation. Taking fire, but it's going to take quite some time to deplete the health of these units when you have 100 health and only 32 missile damage here. Heavy shot, of course, makes it happen quicker, but now we're going to see an engagement starting here. Frankish cavalry rushing in. This is bad for Duck. Charging into stationary spears. He's already losing so much Frankish cavalry. And the Genites are also going to be able to fire in here. So, although he's going to be able to break the Berber spears very quickly, it's at great cost. Look at how many Frankish cav units he loses here. Loses a lot of Frankish cav, wisely pulling away from here. But this will allow the archers to fire into the back, eventually, of the armored spears. So hard push here by Duck, and once again, each time he charges into these spear units, and they are stationary. Maybe this one wasn't stationary, but he isn't able to break through quickly enough with his armored swords, and he's taking fire all the time here on his Frankish cavalry from the Berber raiders and the Genites. Very nice positioning here by these units. And look at what happens to the Frankish cavalry and the Scholar Knights. They are losing a lot of men. And the armored spearmen getting smashed from the flanks by Andalusian archers. Now they're engaging the Berber warriors, but the Berber warriors are going to defeat them now that they have taken so much damage prior. And Panda can just pull away his Berber raiders now. They've done a lot of damage to the cav. This one Andalusian cav is holding off multiple cav units. And the Frankish cavalry even wavering now. Berber warriors getting chased off the field. Armored swords getting into the Andalusian archers. Over here, the Levy archers are charging the Andalusian archers, which is a good idea. The Frankish cavalry getting screened away. Ooh, they are going to turn around and face the Andalusian skirmishers. So let's see if they can get the volley off.
Take out our general. Defend him.
They got the volley off. They didn't kill anything. So now the Andalusian skirmishers are dead. The Umayyad guard has taken a lot of damage, but now it's going to start supporting a few fights. The Paladin guardsmen fighting a Berber warrior here, but they should have no problems dealing with it. Berber warriors getting defeated, but the Franks are losing their cavalry very quickly. The Frankish cavalry over here is dying. The cavalry over here is taking a bit of fire. And there's still ammunition left on these units for Panda warrior. So he's just chasing down the archers, chasing down the remaining Levy archers. And if he manages to deal with the cavalry and the archers, then he's essentially won this battle. Panda warrior has. Just the Frankish cavalry getting smashed by the javelins from the Berber Genites here. The Berber raiders have more ammunition remaining. They're going to be using it on the Scholar Knights. And even though they have a great missile block chance and a lot of armor, these javelins do put the hurt on them. So charging in now. Oh shit, that's a lot of Scholar Knights lost. They are exhausted, so they are very slow. They might be defeated here in close combat, even though these raiders only have 9 melee damage. There are a lot of them. And here come the Andalusian cav supporting. And the Levy archers are not pouring the fire into this blob, which is a good idea. Because there is only this one Scholar Knight fighting. And here comes the Paladin guard in as well. So disengaging with all of the skirmish cav. Now they could go for rear charges and such. Doc has to stop firing now because his own general is in this fight. The Umayyad guardsmen, 171 kills, a 35 charge bonus for the Umayyad guardsmen. A very expensive spear unit. So now the general of Duck is in trouble. All of these skirmishers, there are no units that can chase them away at this point. The skirmishers of Duck are getting chased down by the Berber Genites and the Berber raiders. And now the Andalusian archers can fire at will, just slaughtering these armored swordsmen. Wow, that's a devastating volley. So the armored swords break here. And amazingly, the Paladin guard is still fighting. One Levy archer remaining. Now it gets charged by the Berber Genites.
The men are losing faith.
Yeah, losing rapidly. And the Paladin guards are also losing decisively now, up against multiple spear units. It's just down to this central engagement and this engagement over here, where the Berber warriors are fighting against the Frankish spears.
Our general has fallen.
The general of the Franks is dead, so now rear charges are going to be much more devastating to morale. The armored swords getting attacked, they're exhausted, the general is dead. They are disciplined though. And the Umayyad guard holding strong. Valiant defeat there of the Franks. So once again, a very strange army compared to what we'd normally see in Attila. An elite spear unit with 256 kills, a bunch of mid-tier and low-tier spears, 4 archers, 2 skirmishers, 4 melee cav and 4 skirmish cav, and they all did a decent job. The Frankish cavalry was in large shot down, as was the Frankish melee infantry, and I think this was a very smart army that Panda Warrior brought against Duck, bringing units to specifically target the Frankish cavalry. And once the Franks lose their cavalry, they are left as a faction with good defensive infantry, but with very limited offensive capabilities. And Panda Warrior exploited that brilliantly here against Duck. So great game, guys. Strength and honor.